So the next thing that you need to complete is page 14. So you're going to choose one item from your shopping list and write a sentence about the amount and cost. Use that sentence to complete the table, equation, graph, and words. So you're going to go to page 14. It says create a 4-rep, so write your chosen item and cost below. So that means I need to go back to my shopping list and choose an item and its cost. So I'm going to go to page 10. I'm going to choose, I'm going to look for something that I have multiples of. So I'm going to choose chips. So I have 3 bags of chips, cost $5.95. So here, I'm going to put 3 bags of chips, cost $5.97. So this is my problem. And if you're like, wait, Miss Gilder, that was too fast. Can you show me again where you found that? I just went to my shopping list and I chose something from this list. So either page, it doesn't matter what you choose. You're just going to pick an item, how many of those items you're purchasing, and the cost. So I've chosen 3 bags of chips, which the store is selling for $5.97. So that's the sentence that I'm going to write. And then I need to identify my X and Y values, which in this case it would be bags of chips, and this would be the cost. So if I had 0, 1, 2, and 3 bags of chips, how much would those things cost? And you can decide what the values of X will be here. It's important to make sure that you're using 0 so you can identify whether or not it goes through the origin. So reading my sentence, I'm going to start with 3 bags of chips, cost $5.95. So here's 3 bags of chips. The cost would be $5.97. So now to determine how much 2 bags, 1 bag, and 0 bags would cost, I need to find my constant of proportionality. And remember, to do that, I need to divide Y, which is $5.97, by X, which is 3. So I'm going to do 5.97 divided by 3. So $5.97 divided by 3 is equal to $1.99. So that means my constant of proportionality is $1.99. So now that's what I'm going to use to multiply by X to find Y. Because remember, our equation tells us that Y, so all of these values here, are equal to K, which is $1.99, times X. So all of our Y values are going to be K times whatever the value of X is. So I'm going to start here at 0. I know 0 times $1.99 is 0. I know 1 times $1.99 is $1.99. And 2 times $1.99 is $3.98. So now I have my table complete. I have my constant and my equation written. Now I need to graph it. So I need to label the x-axis and the y-axis. I see here, this line here, remember, are our x values. Our x values are chips. So I'm going to label this chips. Our y values are here. And I notice in the table, our y values are the cost. So I'm going to put cost in dollars. And now I need to plot the points. If you notice, the x values here and the y values here are not labeled. That's because some of us might use larger numbers, and that's okay. You can label these whatever you want. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to make this 2. And I'm going to actually skip over to 4. And then 6. You can label it in whatever way is easiest for you to read, understand, and graph, as long as it's accurate. So then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to make this 1, 2, and I'm just going to keep labeling by 1s on this side. So again, you can label it however you would like. If your number goes up to 20 and you want to label it by 5s, by counting by fives. You can also do that. Remember that you can always ask me for help if you're not sure how to label your graph. All right, so I'm going to stop there. So now I've labeled my graph, my x and y axis. I've numbered it. Now I can plot my points. So I have 0 and 0 first, which I know is the origin. So I'm going to go ahead and plot that here. I have 1 and $1.99. So I'm going to go over to 1 bag of chips, and $1.99 would be fairly close to 2, so it would go about there. I have 2 bags of chips, which are $3.98. I'm going to go to 2. I'm going to go up to $3.98. Then I have 3, and I'm going to go to $5.97. So here's 3 up to $5.97 would be about there. So now I've plotted all of my points. The last thing I need to do is write it in words. So my unit rate is always where 1 is the x value. So wherever the x value is 1, that's my unit rate. So in this case, my unit rate would be 1 and $1.99. So this is my unit rate. So the unit rate is $1.99 per bag of chips. So the unit rate is $1.99 per bag of chips. So remember, your unit rate is telling how much it costs for 1. So this is my unit rate. And then the second part of this is to choose a point on the graph and write a sentence explaining it. So I'm going to choose a different point. And I'm going to choose this point here. So I'm going to choose 2 and $3.98. So I'm going to choose 2, $3.98. So this point means 2 bags of chips cost $3.98. And I can look at that here on the graph. So this point here is 2 bags of chips, and it costs $3.98. You can also read that in the table, that 2 bags of chips cost $3.98. So that is all that you need to do for this page here. If you would like to make up any missing work that you have, you can do this again using 3 different items and values from your shopping list and complete page 15, 16, and 17. But if you do not have any missing work, once you finish page 14, you're going to go back to the direction slide. So you're going to go back to the direction slide, and it'll tell you this is what you need to do next. So again, the only slide that you absolutely have to do is slide 14. If you choose to make up missing work, then do 15, 16, and 17, but you do not have to do any 4-rep slide other than this page here. And remember, if you need to watch this again to see that example again and again and again, you can click on the how-to video at the bottom to watch this example to make sure that you are doing it correctly.